If you're a business owner or entrepreneur, you need to be out front marketing your business. And my next guest helps coach business leaders on how to use media. He's my good friend, Stefan. Stefan, welcome to the show.
Hello, good friend Scott. Good to see you. Thanks.
Good to see you. No, I appreciate it. You and I have known each other. We've worked together on several projects, so I appreciate your availability. But when we talk about content marketing, which is something we're really big on here on the show, you have to be ready, you have to present yourself, and you've been working with clients, helping them not only learn how to use media, but also present themselves well.
Yeah, I mean, we are living in an increasingly video world, not just for creating thought leadership content for the executives and the startups and the entrepreneurs that I work with, but every day now we're in our Zoom meetings, and often that is going to be our first impression with prospects and prospective clients is via video. And so a lot of people need to step up their game and create kind of a set. You could see there's a little backlighting and so forth. So yeah, try to help people create a better look, image, and then performance so they can put their best foot forward.
Let's talk about your sales philosophy, because I think the people at home are going to love this. When someone asks you, how do you sell, you tell them
to stop selling. So yeah, I may be one of the few sales consultants. My blog, if you will, I call it a mailcast because it's a mini podcast that you can only get in your inbox, in your email. So I call it a mailcast, and it's called Stop Selling. And if you want to go find it, you can go to stopselling.substack.com. Yeah, my philosophy is simple. Create incredible value. Build an audience of people who need that incredible value, and they're going to raise their hand and want to work with you. So the top producers of six-figure service providers, whether those are insurance agents or consultants, or they're coaches, they're entrepreneurs, the more that they're credible and visible in their industry, market, or niche, the more that they are getting the inbound calls, and they're not chasing strangers for a living. So as my buddy Gittimer likes to say, nobody likes to be sold, but everybody likes to buy. So what I say is stop selling and instead help more people buy.
Well, and you do that through your content creation. You've got a great setup. And in fact, I was telling Russell before the show, you don't have to worry about Stefan's setup. The camera's going to be great, everything, the lighting's going to be great. But you worked hard at that because, like you said, the Zoom meetings, but you're also creating content, you're pushing out on LinkedIn and the other social media. When people find that content, they're reaching out to you, right?
Yeah, and I'll tell you, the biggest strategy that I'm working on with my clients right now is creating thought leadership content with the real luminaries, the people that have the biggest footprints and visibility in your industry, market, or niche. Get them onto a program just like what you're doing here and interview them. And I'll tell you why. When you do it for LinkedIn, especially when you're creating content that's meant for professional places like LinkedIn, it might make sense for Facebook too, depending on your business. These people who are on the show and who were interviewed, they're going to take that clip and then they're going to share it into their sphere. So they're dragging you along and they're bringing their credibility, and there's a bit of a transfer of trust over to you. And these are people that you didn't know. They're in the industry that you want to be seen more and being considered credible and a trusted source for whatever it is that you do. So that is a big one. Really looking at what you're doing here on Biz TV, people can do that for themselves if they learn the technology, learn to create the little set, go out and interview these people, put it on LinkedIn. You don't have to have a television network like Scott. You can create your own little television network on LinkedIn in your industry, market, or niche, and you don't have to be the expert. That is the beauty about doing this kind of interview style, is they're the expert, you're just bringing them on and adding value to the audience.
That's right. I'm just along for the ride. Hey, speaking of experts, you are my go-to expert for the latest in technology. You're always studying different software, different things that people can use. I'm just curious, any new finds you found recently, kind of little nuggets?
Sure. I will tell you that the software that I use to produce, so for example, if I wanted to tell you that I'm working on a new show, which I am, I can pop it up on the screen like that. Go. Audience Builders Live is coming soon. And so you'll be able to check that out. So that's a project that I'm working on. So I use Ecamm Live if you're a Mac user to be able to produce and throw up stuff onto the screen and create this kind of look. But for most people out there watching this, I'm going to give you a little app that I think is a great tool. It's called Brain Toss. I think it's $2.99, and it is a tool that I use almost daily to capture ideas, thoughts, things that maybe if it's fails, maybe it's for content, but rather than lose it while I'm on a walk or driving or doing something, I can launch Brain Toss and I can either give myself a quick one-touch voicemail that automatically goes into my inbox, or I can scratch a quick note, automatically goes into my inbox, and you can also take a picture. So you can take a picture of something, you can record an audio note, or you can write yourself a note. The point, though, is that you don't have to address it anywhere. Once you've done it and captured it, you click a button right into your inbox, where, if you're like me, that's where things sit to get done, is working out of my inbox.
All right, you did the plug for the show, but let's go back and talk about it. What is this new show you're working on, and where can we watch it?
I really believe that you can grow your business if you grow your audience. You know that better than anybody because that's what you do at Biz TV. And I'm trying to bring that philosophy to people in business who don't necessarily have access to television networks. So Audience Builders Live will be launched third week of March. You'll have to stay tuned for the exact date. We're working with sponsors now to figure out when that date is going to be and lining up our sponsors. But it's all about how to build programming, build audiences, whether it's video, whether it's a blog, whether it's in person. How do you build an audience that wants to get to know you, like you, trust you, and most importantly, buy from you?
That's right, because you got to stop selling.
You got to stop selling. Just help more people buy.
Do you have the book coming out, the Stop Selling book? Is that coming out?
It's funny. That was a project of mine, but I have realized over the years, I'll be honest with you, my good friend Mark Serkin said this to me. He said, Stefan, you know why you haven't written that book? I said, no, why? He said, because you're not a writer, you're a talker. And this is my genre. So Stop Selling is, the reason I turned Stop Selling into the Mailcast is I can speak into this microphone and it will show up in your inbox and you can get whatever nuggets I'm dropping, or maybe just get a laugh. And if you think it's useful, forward it to somebody else.
And by the way, Stefan, when he says get a laugh, he's being modest. I mean, you're a former comedian, so you've done the stand-up comedian thing as well. So anytime I'm with you...
Former failed comedian. Yep, absolutely. Got me right to here.
Hey, look at there.
That's how good I was.
You made it to this show, buddy.
I made it to this show, yes.
Hey, Stefan, for people at home, how can they get a hold of you?
You can find me at stefanlubinsky.com, or you can sign up for my Mailcast and get to know me that way. Again, that's... what is that? Stopselling.substack.com.
Stefan Lubinsky on a Friday night. Thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Scott. Always great.
Absolutely. Stefan's always a fun guest to have. More of the show coming up. You are watching Create, Build, and Manage. We'll be back after this.